very good evening to you and a warm welcome to tonight's edition of Breeding to Win. Heat is certainly turned up here on the Highveld, especially after a successful Classic Day which took place last week Saturday at Turffontein Racecourse. And all hopes will be on Summer Pudding to pull off the third leg of the Wilgebosdrift Triple Tiara. We're certainly looking forward to that and exciting times ahead. Right now, let's take a look at what's in store for you on tonight's show. I chat to Joey Soma about his big win in the SA Classic. It was a super Saturday for Gimme the Green Light, and Feet chats to Cole de Vos about the wonderful day Gimme the Green Light's progeny enjoyed on Classic Day. The Breeding to Win team took time out to enjoy a fun-filled Cheltenham charity lunch at Vasco's. Equus 2-year-old champion of last season got the green light, bounced back to his best last week Saturday to win with emphatic style the Grade 1 SA Classic at Turffontein Racecourse and give his part owner and conditioner Joey Soma his second win in this prestigious race. It's my pleasure to welcome back to the Breeding to Win show. Joey, great to have you back on the Breeding to Win show and congratulations on a fantastic win.
Thanks very much, Judy. Very honoured to be on your show again. It seems like I enjoy being interviewed by you first and foremost, and wherever we can help and get the exposure, thank you very much to you and your team. It
wasn't so long ago that we actually chatted about Got the Green Light and how you had high hopes for the son of Gimme the Green Light, and it's so great to see him pull off another SA victory.
Yeah, Julie, now we've been in the game a long time. We're not one who booms up horses, but you know, when we see a good horse, we really believe in that horse. Always it's hard for them to come through as well, but in saying that, from day one he's just shown us something very, very different to all the hundreds of horses we've trained. And you know, being a small stable, we don't get too many of these, and they're few and far between. But with him, he's just been a very, very special horse to me. As I say, from day one he showed me that he could be something special, and in saying that, it was very rewarding to see a Equus champion 2-year-old coming through to as a 3-year-old, maturing to a 3-year-old and winning a Group 1 race as a 3-year-old as well. So in saying that, just once again, thanks to everyone involved with the horse, but very, very special to me.
In my opinion, it was a great training feat by you, Joey, because it's never easy for any trainer to travel a horse from Joburg to Cape Town, especially a 3-year-old or a younger horse, and then bring them back and in 5 weeks win a Grade 1 Classic.
Yeah, it was a tough one, Judy. I was very worried. You must remember, times gone by, the Classic used to be held on the first week in April until which I thought was a very good idea, bringing the Classic and the Guineas or the Triple Crown one month earlier. So in saying that, they dangled that 5 million rand in front of us, and it was very hard not to go for it, being the top rated horse in the race as well. But everything went wrong. He was doing so well, and then unfortunately there was an outbreak of African horse sickness in the Turffontein area, and then we had to go into quarantine for around 15 or 16 days, and he hated it. From the minute he walked into that barn at Randkiesfontein, he just never did well. We tried our very best. We had to go through with the plans that we had put forward, but he never enjoyed 1 minute of it. Unfortunately, a lot of people might not understand what they go through, Judy. There's a net that covers the whole stable, the outside of the stable, and unfortunately these horses have to go. They're only allowed out their stable at 10 o'clock in the morning, and they have to be back in the stable, locked down at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So by the time you finish working the horse, he comes out at 10 o'clock, you go work him, you dry him up. You can't leave him in outside from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock. There's sun, obviously. So you've also got to let him rest after his workout. So that was, when we, at 3 o'clock when we used to finish walking him and he had to go back into the stable, he started sticking up and saying, don't do this to me, you know. So we took our chances. It never paid off, but he was very aggressive in Cape Town. The minute he got back to his stable on the Tuesday morning after the CTS race, I couldn't believe how this horse just absolutely, he was like, you can see he's a Lebanese horse, he's happy to be home. So in saying that, I felt that we had enough time to get him going, and it worked out in our favour. But one of the things I was very, very pleased about was after the race, Mr. Ferraris phoned me. We were still celebrating and still on a high, and he actually just said to me, Joe, very, 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 very fantastic training feat to get a horse from Cape Town in 5 weeks. And then funny enough, right after that, Mark de Kock phoned and said to me, fantastic training feat. So what we did and what we never did, I don't even know myself. All I do is woke up in the morning, looked at him and said, let me do what I think he needs on the way he was showing me in the mornings, you know. And that just goes to show what a natural athlete he is. I feel that he's going to still be better after this run. I still think that, you know, from old school, they tell you the second run from Cape Town is always the best run. So I'm quite positive wherever we go with him that he's still got a lot of maturing and a lot of improvement to come. So very, very blessed to have a horse like this, very blessed.
He has a tremendous turn of foot, and we saw that with him as a 2-year-old. He loved the gravel surface. He hasn't lost that as a 3-year-old. Will you be prepping him now for the Vodacom Durban July, or what's the plan?
Yeah, no, going forward from here onwards, I really haven't made up, well, let me rephrase it, we haven't made up our minds, because I'd like to talk to the partners as well, being Dalen and Sammy and Hassan Adams. There's a lot of options on the table, a lot of different routes that we could take him to, but I will say one thing, at this stage, please God, everything being equal, his main plan is the Vodacom Durban July. I always felt that he's type of horse that could be very, very competitive in a race like that. I stated it last year when he won at Gravel, the Premier's champion as a 2-year-old. And going forward, just like the way that he's maturing, he's strengthened up, because I think the 3-year-old needs to be you have to have a stronger horse in the Vodacom July. So his long-term plan is definitely the Vodacom Durban July, and I think that working backwards, I would like to go obviously the Daily News, but from the Daily News back to where we're going to go, I haven't made up my mind. There's a lot of options. There's a route you can go, the SA Guineas, there's the Premier's Champion Stakes here on Champions Day, there's the Derby that's available on the 4th of April. So we'll sit down and try and plan whatever's best for the horse, because that's what we tend to do. And but long term, the July is his main aim.
Some astute punters picked up on the equipment change of the tongue tie, and it's something that you did with Lobo's Legend, who also came through to win the SA Classic.
Yeah, there's no doubt that I've always been one that believes in the tongue tie. He fought a little bit in his races before. We started working him with the tongue tie, and he seemed to settle a lot better with it. I don't know if he fights or so. I think sometimes he's a type of horse that likes the pace to be on, and he seems to settle. You know, as one say, I thought Marco van Rensburg rode a fantastic race on Green Laser, because he slowed it down. He was in front. He was a pacemaker, obviously, or rode him from the front, and he slowed it down and turned it into a bit of a sprint in the straight. So a very good ride from Mark. And I think when he slowed it down, the more I watched the race, when he slowed it down, he seemed to fight a little bit in the race. But going back to your question of tongue tie, I always felt that he'll be a better horse with a tongue tie, and I decided to also put a sheepskin noseband on him. I just felt that he wasn't, maybe his head was a little bit too high, maybe he's matured, and funny enough, when he started working him with those two pieces of equipment on him, he just seemed, his work was absolutely phenomenal. He really and truly worked. His grass gallop was absolutely fantastic, you know. I actually worked him once again with a pickup, which I see a lot of the younger trainers don't do today. And he, funny enough, he worked alongside the pickup in the last part of the gallop, which I thought was a very, very good gallop. As you'll know from old days, if you can work alongside a pickup, if you beat a pickup, it's pay. But to work alongside it, you always got a big chance, you know. So I just felt that he handled that gallop so well and he worked so well. I was confident of the first three basically. That's all you can do, especially being a small stable. Is you're hoping for the first three, first four. If you win, it's a massive bonus for us, you know. So that's how I sort of go into the races. And if they do win, we just enjoy it, basically. You know. Hard to win them, Jules.
It's great to see that the stable has turned now, Joey, for a small stable, and the winners are starting to flow in.
Yeah, it's something that we all take a lot of pride in. I always, you know, been brought up in a racing family. You get up in the mornings to compete at a very high level. With group racing, Group 1 racing being the pinnacle. That's what we race for, and it's very, very difficult to compete, very difficult to win these Group 1 races. I think anyone will agree with me. So from a small stable point of view, I don't want to harp on about it because it's not going to change now. So it is what it is. We just go out and do our number, but we, you know, don't get the support at the end of the day. And when we do get the support, we sort of we deliver, and that I'm very proud of. You know, it's all very well having a big mouth, but you've got to back it up. And one thing I can say, with my big mouth, I'll back it up. You know, we went through a bad trot, Jules. It was only our third winner of the season, but in saying that, we also had a virus that we couldn't shake. We looked after the horses. You know, the horses I think in most trainers' yards, horses come first. So we had to just ride that wave. And the more we tried our hardest to get rid of it, just nothing would change. Horses came to the race course. They were working well. We did bloods, and you would only see it after their races. So we rode that wave. We got insulted a little bit from a lot of people. That's part of the game, which we take. As I say, I take a good punch well, but I also hit well. but I'm just joking. But
No,
you know, sometimes it crossed my mind. Maybe it's time to turn up the game. And maybe it's just not for me. It's just not going our way. But there again, I've got to thank my partner Sandy for telling me that you can still do this job. You've done it for a long time. But it's and my brother Neville was also the other one that was there for me, because it was the closest I've ever been in my career. Just to say to myself, oh, the game's not for me anymore. Maybe it's just a sign that it's time to move on. But thank God for a horse like this, because he was the one that we got up in the mornings for. Said, oh, okay, maybe he'll get us out of it. You know, maybe he can turn the corner for us, and it seemed to work like that at the end of the day. So, the point I'm making is, you've got to just keep dreaming. You've got to keep pushing yourself. Don't give up. Don't give up hope. Even when you feel that you're knocked out, you're only knocked out when the ref counts to 10. Then the fight's over. But until that time, just pick yourself up, go. It's very, very difficult for the smaller trainers, the younger trainers today, to break into that big league. And my advice to them would be, just keep believing in yourself. It's possible.
Well, Joey Soma, as always, it's an absolute pleasure talking to you. On behalf of the Breeding to Win team, we wish you and Got the Green Light all the very best for the future. We'll be watching him closely, and we look forward to having you back on the Breeding to Win team shortly.
Train down the inside, then Leopold, and here comes You Can't Hurry Love on the outside. Got the green light, hit the front from Ikigai. You Can't Hurry Love and Frosted Gold on the outside with Shango. It's in front, got the green light. You Can't Hurry Love is coming home quickly. Got the green light. You Can't Hurry Love and Green Laser got the green light. Wins for Joey Soma, second Green Laser. You Can't Hurry Love third, and then came Leopold in fourth. It's a big payday for the Soma stable.
What a race the SA Classic turned out to be for the Vosfontein stallion Gimme the Green Light, whose progeny filled the first 3 places in this Grade 1 event. Fee catches up with Vosfontein stud manager Carl de Vos.
We're here at Vosfontein Stud this morning following the great success of Give Me the Green Light at last Saturday's Classic Day, and it's lovely to have Carl de Vos on the show to chat about Give Me the Green Light and those wonderful successes last weekend. Carl, thank you very much for having us here this morning.
Thank you very much for coming to Vosfontein.
You must have been so proud of Give Me the Green Light on Saturday. What a phenomenal day.
Yes, it was amazing. You know, that filly is unbeaten. She won the Acacia, and then for the 3 colts, I think that's only been done once before by Silvana in South Africa, to run first, second and third in the Group 1. And then Green Haze to end it off. That was brilliant.
Yes,
very good.
super day. And got the green light. Joe Soma's done a fantastic job with him and bought him for a very little amount back at the yearling sale.
Yes, you know, and it shows that anybody can train a good horse. Not that he's anybody, he's done a lot of it. But he was voted champion last season, champion 2-year-old colt, and to follow up to win another Group 1 this year, that's very good for Gimme. Very nice. He's a nice horse, and hopefully he'll carry on with us.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. And Joe Soma did say things didn't go quite right for him in Cape Town, but he's obviously a good horse and he's got a bright future ahead.
Yes, look, in my mind, and I told Hassan that, I thought they were wrong, chasing the money coming down to Cape Town. But nevertheless, you know, you've got to try. But I'm happy to see that he got back and won the Group 1 back at home.
Yeah, well, it was a great day, and you were here watching on the TV, but you must have been so excited because him winning, and then of course Golden Haze and Lady of Steel was just a magical day for Give Me the Green Light. Yes,
I was at home here watching, and we had all the staff, especially for the big one, to watch with us, and it was lovely. Yeah.
And how many stakes winners has he had now?
Look, he's had 50 stakes horses, of which 23 are stakes winners. But the exciting thing for you is that his best crop up to now, they are 2-year-olds. But even better than that are the ones that's now yearlings. And then I thought it was his best crop that are foals at foot now, because we saw those mares coming back to him this last season. But then this last season he even got better mares. So I think the future, you know, it's unbelievable for him, because he got some of the best mares in the country this last season. So I think he should go from strength to strength. And the exciting thing is that I think breeders have worked him out. You know, he can get them a little bit small and light, and maybe the filly's a little bit fiery. But they've worked him out, and I think physically we've seen that they've sent a far better physical mare to him the last few seasons.
Yeah, to get the right cross. But looking at him this morning, he looks fantastic, and his temperament looks to be quite good. He looks quite calm.
Yes, he was very fiery when he got off the track and when he started his career. But as it's gone along, you know, he's relaxed, and he's an exceptionally fertile horse. So he stops his mares very easily, and is a very, very good coverer. So we're lucky, you know. We could give him as many mares as we want to, but this last few seasons he's covered over 120 mares every year. So we see a very big future for him.
He's certainly very popular in the sales ring, isn't he? Everybody's wanting to give me the green light.
Yes, in the beginning we battled a bit because of the mixture of mares that he got, and also that physically they weren't right. But now they've got it right, and I think that he will hold his own to any stallion now. I think we're set for good times now.
And just tell us a little bit about his breeding himself.
Look, he's obviously by More Than Ready, he was leading 2-year-old sire twice in Australia, champion 2-year-old sire in America. I think he's got, over the world, he's got 60 champions, something like that, all over the world. And his mother, she's produced 5 stakes horses. So, he's from a very good female line.
And I remember watching him racing as well. I'll never forget when he won the Queen's Plate so impressively. I mean, he had a good career himself.
Yeah, absolutely. A friend of mine, Jeremy Nelson, early days, he said to me, Carl, we must watch this horse. I think this is something we've got to fight for at the end, to stand as a stallion. He's obviously won 6 races, and of which the Group 1 was the Queen's Plate, which first time in 40 years that a 3-year-old has done that. And then he was placed in, I think if I'm correct, in 4 or 5 Group 1s. He was a phenomenal and a very good looking horse when he was racing.
Yeah, very good looking. And he's throwing similar types. They all look like him, and they've got that lovely rich dark colour. And as we just spoke about the fillies, some of them are a bit light, but hopefully that will change as to the different mares that are coming to him. Yes,
we definitely, we've seen that with every now and then they call me to the breeding shed and say, I've got to come and look at this foal, because I think it's the way they've mated him now. They're mating him physically correctly. And but yes, you must watch out. Don't give him to a small mare.
And Hassan obviously owned him on the track. Still involved with him now?
Yes, Hassan raced him. He loves him very much. He always calls me. He still owns shares in him, but we're the majority shareholder in the horse. And obviously the horse is very well syndicated. We've got all the big breeders involved, and a lovely syndicate.
Yeah, I'm sure he gets a full book because he's very popular and throws some really nice looking sorts.
Yes, absolutely. We're looking forward. It's a pity things could have happened earlier, but then top horses like Surcharge and Tony Millard bought a very good one that we bred out of a mare caught in the slips that went to Hong Kong. And it's difficult, when a horse like Surcharge moved from here to go just to Dubai or somewhere, he ended up in England, and then they decided that the flu wasn't right. It's a long haul for these horses to get there, and now he ended up, Dubai, then Hong Kong, and then now he's in Australia. He's won a Group 3 in Australia. But there's a big future for this horse.
Yeah, and I see he's 12 years old now, but he looks in tip-top condition this morning. You really got him looking well.
Yes, he sometimes he does too well. He carries sometimes too much condition, but he works that off in the season, and he works himself. He's not a horse that you need to go and exercise every day. He will do it himself.
Yeah, and you've been here like 30 odd years, and I must say, what a beautiful farm.
Thank you very much. I've been here 32 years. It's the longest the manager's been at any stud for that long time, and enjoying every day. And John and Susan, has given me this privilege to live my life to my dreams, to what I want to do. And they've put so much into it that, they enjoy it as much as we do. And I think that's part of our success.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful farm, and of course not far from Cape Town as well.
Yes, that helps a lot. We get a lot of visitors, and that's why my condition is a bit good, because we get a lot of people here. It's also nice to have Glen right opposite, because we can just walk the horses there. Lovely area, very nice.
Yeah, and in terms of mares visiting as well, you're quite well situated for that as well, for the mares to come to the stallions.
Yes, especially now, that you've got Drakenstein, who's become a big stud, and Aventure and all of this. So there's a lot of mares. People don't realize how many mares are around here. And we're well situated for having stallions.
And I was going through the list of horses, progeny of Give Me the Green Light, and there's been so many that have been earners in big races as well as winners.
Yes, it's what I'm saying. Some of these horses have left, and there's also like the very good horse from P. We haven't seen him run for over a year now, I think. I think the trainers have also worked out you mustn't rush them. They must give them a bit more time. They're not just 2-year-olds, because they can win from 1,000 up to 3,000. That's what they've done. So, you know, you shouldn't just rush them as 2-year-olds, because although his sire produces a lot of 2-year-old horses, and he was a fast horse, but they seem to train on a bit, which is exciting, because you would like to get that 16 to 2, you know, that you can also have horses in the big races like the July and the Met. So yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting when you know they've got a little bit more to look, you know, more to look forward to, and they get better with time. And how much does Give Me the Green Light stand for?
He stood for 75,000 last year. He's most probably worth a hell of a lot more than that. But it's difficult times, you know. We've got to look after the breeders as well. It'll be interesting to see, because we try not to make decisions on our own, although we do have the right as the management committee to do that. We put it to the shareholders, and we see what we all decide. We always think of our shareholders, and that's why when we syndicated this horse, we syndicated him at 150, and his shares, the highest price they paid for a share was 800, and so we gave them an up on their share. They've done well with their share price. We also pay a very good dividend every year. They get good dividends back, and the horse is working for them. But we're all in it together. We try and keep everybody happy.
Well, it's certainly nice to see that he's going places. Now, those horses that ran so well on Classic Day last Saturday, they've also got great, you know, season ahead, and of course the Durban season as well to look forward to.
Yes, it'll be exciting to see what happens in the Derby now. You know, who's going to go for it and who's not going to go for it, and what happens to them, because that will tell you where we're going for the Durban season. But yes, I think it could be exciting.
Yeah, you certainly must have been very proud after Saturday, because Give Me the Green Light really did hit the headlines.
Very, very proud, and he got his carrot from Yaku on Saturday evening, so, you know, yeah, no, very proud.
Well, best of luck for the future, Carl, and thanks for having us here this morning. Things do look really good for Give Me the Green Light, and we'll keep watching his progeny with great enthusiasm, because he really is doing well.
Thank you very much, Fee.
Lovely to be here at Varsfontein this morning. It's my first time. It's an absolutely stunning stud farm, and of course Give Me the Green Light. As I said, he really did hit the headlines last weekend. He's really going places and setting the tracks alight.
The Breeding to Win team are always looking to have a bit of fun, and they found it this past week at Vasco's, where they enjoyed a Cheltenham charity lunch in the true Irish style.
We're here at Vasco da Gama Tavern in Cape Town for the Klavervlees Stud Cheltenham Festival Luncheon. The proceeds will be going to the Western Cape Equine Trust. It's a wonderful afternoon. I'm really looking forward to some top racing, a wonderful lunch, and thank you very much to Bryn Russell for having us here this afternoon. once again, we've got to thank Cloverflay Stud for putting on this fantastic Cheltenham Festival lunch. The vibe has been fantastic. We're getting really stuck into the racing. Got to thank Michaela. She's worked really hard. Grant Knowles, and of course, John Costa, who's behind Cloverflay Stud. John, Cheltenham Festival, pretty special, hey?
No, it's very special. You know, we used to go there often. We used to watch Best Mate running, and you know, you won the Gold Cup 3 years in a row. And to have been there and recreated here was Grant's brainwave, and it's fantastic. You can see how the racing crowd really enjoy it, you know, and we're not a jumps nation, but anything to get together, to have a good party, to have a chat, a couple of drinks, and Brins, of course, Brins Vasco is just the place to be if you're a racing fan.
Well, I can hear the Cheltenham commentary behind us now. Such a great vibe, big fields, really exciting racing.
It is, you know, it's something that we're not used to. But it's got its own challenges, you know, and I know these betting guys, you know, they'll bet on anything. So it's always great fun, and, you know, the odds are normally pretty good, and it's just a great way to get together.
And it's lovely to be earning some money for a great charity, the Western Cape Equine Trust, and hand over a cheque just to help them a little bit.
It's so important for you, you know, that's actually what it's all about. And, you know, these beautiful animals of ours, we've got to look after them after their racing careers, and any little bit that you can do is a wonderful way to go about it, and it's a really good way to get the crowds together.
Yeah, it's such a fun afternoon so far. There's a few more races to go. The Guinness has been flying, the green hats have been on. There's a bit of Irish and English vibe going on in there, so lots of fun to be had.
Yeah, listen, it's a great competition between the Irish and English, and I'll never forget going across there, and you get 80,000 Irishmen that come across the Irish Sea, and the banter and the Guinness and the fun that people have. And of course, you know, no excuses to be on the road now, you know, the traffic can wait, and it only ends up late, so yeah, good party for all.
It's lovely to see Adrian Todd relaxing this afternoon. I won't be plaguing him with export and import protocol questions today, but he's here to enjoy the Cheltenham Festival. Hasn't it been a fantastic day so far before we get on to the first race?
No, it's been great so far, Fee. It always is.
Lots of fun, lots of great food and wine flowing, and really in for a good afternoon's racing.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's always fun for everybody to come together and have some enjoyment.
It's a great atmosphere, isn't it? It's just phenomenal. The amount of people and the buzz from the Irish, the English, the different countries coming together, an absolute wonderful vibe.
No, definitely. It always is.
And it's going to be a fantastic afternoon's racing. I hope you got all your bets on and everything, because it's going to be lots of fun.
No, definitely. Looking forward to it, Fee.
And of course, I said we mustn't talk about it, but you've got your audit coming up, so lots of work to be done, so you can't enjoy yourself too much.
No, we're getting there. We're very confident and looking forward to it.
Ken Tutor's with me from the Western Cape Equine Trust. It really is a great cause. Ken, fantastic day and a fantastic idea to raise some money for the Western Cape Equine Trust.
Absolutely, Fee, and I must begin by saying thank you very much to Cloverflay and Michaela for organising it, and of course to Bren Ressel, who he is so generous in his donations to the trust, and without these people we can't survive, and we're most grateful for that. And we were here last year, and what a fun day it was.
Yeah, it's been going for a few years now, and it's becoming very, very popular, and it really is good fun combining the racing with the lunch and a bit of banter.
It is, and it's lovely meeting with race people off the track, as it were, and you tend to socialise and you get to know people better, and it's just a wonderful occasion.
Well, you're doing a wonderful job with the trust. I've said it to you before. I keep seeing wonderful pictures on Facebook and social media of horses and going on into their second lives and enjoying life.
Yeah, absolutely, and we've been so fortunate. We've had a very good run the last 6 months, even although we're in difficult economic times. We're rehoming lots of horses, and not just rehoming them, but rehoming them to wonderful homes. And to see the videos and the pictures afterwards, the satisfaction one derives from that is just phenomenal.
Absolutely, a happy ever after for all the horses. But you're doing a wonderful job. Enjoy this afternoon. I hope you can back a few Cheltenham winners and enjoy the lunch.
Thanks very much, Fee.
We have to say a big thank you to Bryn Russell and all at Vasco da Gama this afternoon for having us here for the Cloverflay Stud Cheltenham Festival Luncheon. It's been absolutely fantastic. The day is not over yet. There's a few more races to go, but we've been royally looked after, and it wouldn't be the same without having Bryn next to my side to tell us what a fantastic day we've had. Bryn, hasn't it been wonderful?
Thank you very much. It has been wonderful, and again, thank you to you and to the whole Cloverflay team for their support. I think it's going to be a good day. It's a bit quiet at the moment, a little bit waiting for the Irish to come out in the people, but yeah, it's been good.
I think it's going to hot up. It's early days yet, and we're only into like a few races, but it's going to get really, really hot in here, I'm sure. But what a fantastic charity, the Western Cape Equine Trust. We're making money for them, and it's just wonderful, and your donation has been phenomenal.
Thank you very much. Yeah, no, it's good to be able to give back, and I think with the work that they do is also, as you said, I'll quote you, it is phenomenal. And I think the thing is that there's a lot of things that happen outside of what's just happening on the racetrack. So to the people that are doing it, thank you.
It's not the first time we've been here for the Claverflay Cheltenham Festival. Great crowd here again, and it's lovely to have all the racing people coming together to watch the festival.
Yeah, it is. It's wonderful, but you know, it is fantastic for Vasco. The Cheltenham crowd has supported us fantastic. I think I don't know how many years now, it's maybe 3 or 4. But I think just to the whole racing fraternity, they've been very good to the Vasco. You know, we have a lot of people coming here, and as you can probably see next door with the little tote going and what's happening here, you know, we've become almost like well known for racing, and we do appreciate their support.
You've certainly looked after us well so far today. The food has been delicious as usual. Great vibe, great drinks, fantastic staff you've got here.
Thank you very much. Yeah, hopefully the food's been good. If it was good, I cooked it. If it wasn't good, it was cooked at Diaz. So yeah, but I mean, it is good. But it's wonderful to have you here. I mean, it takes a lot to get you out. So the fact that you're here, we're truly blessed.
Thanks very much for having us all today. It's a very good cause, and we can't thank you enough. So we must just enjoy the rest of the racing this afternoon.
Thank you. Muito obrigado.
Just a quick thank you to everyone for coming this afternoon. A big thank you to Claverflay Stud for putting on such a wonderful afternoon. The Cheltenham Festival has been wonderful to us so far. We've had a lovely lunch. Can't thank you all enough. And of course, we can't thank Bryn Russell and the whole team at Vasco for looking after us. It's been wonderful so far this afternoon. And of course, we've made a bit of money for the Western Cape Equine Trust. And we'd like to hand over our cheque now to Ken Truter. And Michaela's going to do that. And Michaela has done an absolute fantastic job of putting this afternoon together. So a big hand for Ken Truter and Michaela.
Well, that's a wrap for this week's edition of Breeding to Win. Don't forget to join us for more Breeding to Win action next week. From Grant Knowles, Fiona Ramsden and myself, Julie Alexander, and the rest of the Breeding to Win team, good night.